Well, hey, everybody, I cannot believe we are this far into the summer and that school is just around the corner. And I know that so many of you are gearing up not just to start a new year, but to start your first homeschooling year. And I wanted to give you some advice that I'm hoping will make this year one of your best homeschool years. And those of you who are getting ready to do maybe your second or your fourth or your 10th homeschool year, I think this can help you too. So even if you've been doing this gig for a while, stick with me for a minute because I think what I have to say today is going to help make this year one of your best. And remember that if you're not yet on our email list, go to goodschooling.net, scroll to the bottom, put your email address in, and you will get great homeschooling advice all year long to help you be the best homeschooler that you can be. So, 3 truths that I think can make this a great homeschool year for you. The first, curriculum is not the boss. You are the boss of your homeschool. You need to print this in great big letters and plaster it on the wall in whatever room it is that you have chosen to do your homeschool. You are the boss. If your children are struggling with the curriculum, you don't try to change them to suit that program. And if the program is moving too fast, you don't keep going with your kids even though they're not getting it. Remember that curriculum is a tool. It is not the boss. It doesn't get to tell you how to do anything. It gives you suggestions. It gives you resources. It gives you materials so that you don't have to spend a ton of time trying to find all that stuff yourself. But the way that you implement it, the pieces of it that you actually use, that is entirely up to you. I have never taken a curriculum out of the box and used it exactly as written because my children do not fit any particular program. And most of you will find that to be true. Curriculum is not, it can't fit everybody, right? And so sometimes the tailoring that we do is going to look like doing things orally instead of doing things on paper, or it's going to look like not even using certain parts of the curriculum, just keeping it in the box or selling it off to somebody or stuffing it up into a closet somewhere and we'll pull that out if we're bored one day or something, right? Just because the program came with something doesn't mean that you have to use it. Just because it came with a schedule doesn't mean you have to follow that schedule. Just because they say do this and this activity together doesn't mean you have to. You are the boss of your curriculum and of your homeschool. And so you need to keep yourself in the driver's seat and make sure that the curriculum maintains its place as not even a co-pilot, but just a helpful advisor who gives you ideas that you can follow or not. It's up to you. Okay? Truth number 2. Excuse me. You do not have to follow a traditional schedule. That means that you don't have to start back when the public schools do. You don't even have to start back in the fall. I was just talking to someone. Man, I wish I could remember who it was. They were telling me that they start their homeschool in May. They start their year in May because that's when the weather starts getting crazy hot. And so they homeschool pretty solidly until like late October, November, and then they take a huge break. And then they come back and they do a little bit in January and February because it's cold. But then once the weather starts turning, they stop and they wait until May and then they start again. Totally, like it's kind of a year-round thing, but like not exactly. But it works for them, right? You don't have to follow any particular schedule. And even if your state says you have to homeschool between this date and this date, doesn't mean you have to do it every single day. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it for a certain amount of time every day, right? I highly recommend taking an approach where you do maybe like 6 weeks on and then take a break. 6 weeks off. No, not 6 weeks off. 2 weeks off. Or, well, 6. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever is going to help you feel like you have time to assess how things are going, right? And plan what you want to do next. You don't have to go, right? Take time, stop, assess how things are going, rework as you need to, and then move on for a little while, and then stop, and assess and rework as necessary, okay? Follow whatever schedule works for you, works best with your spouse's work schedule, works best with the rhythm of your family. Do not worry about getting it all in, okay? Never worry about getting it all in. You would be surprised how much you can cover in a year, even if you're just homeschooling a little bit here and there, here and there, here and there. The third thing I want you to remember is that less is more. Again, just because a curriculum came with like 10 different projects doesn't mean you have to do any of them, right? Or what if you did just the projects and none of the other stuff? You can do that too, right? Just because the methodology that you follow says you should do this and this and this and this and this doesn't mean that you have to. The methodology is also not the boss, okay? You take that methodology and you suit it to your family. And if you feel like, gosh, this feels like a lot, this is stressful, this is like overwhelming, this is too much, I'm feeling burnt out, and we've only been doing this for like a month, okay? That means that it is time to pull way back and start thinking, okay, what is the bare minimum here that I really have to do? Figure that out and start with that. You don't have to start with everything in place. You don't have to start off doing every single subject every day. Start with the bare minimum. And I mean bare, the math and the language, and that's it. And then build up a little bit. And then build up a little bit. And then build up a little bit. Until you come up with a system that feels right for your family, that gives you the time and the flexibility and the freedom that you need to be able to do all of the other things that you were hoping to do as homeschoolers. Being burnt out is not natural. We shouldn't be working to that point. If you get to that point, it's kind of like, they say that if you're hungry, it means that your body's already in distress. Like you're supposed to eat before you get hungry. Being hungry is not a good sign. It's kind of the same thing with your homeschooling, okay? You don't want to work until you're burnt out and then pull back, okay? You want to make sure that you are maintaining a pace that is going to prevent you from getting burnt out in the first place. Less is more. Start slow, start small, build up from there. Keep lots of white space in your calendar. Do not fill in every spare minute. We do not want our children thinking it's normal to be overworked. We don't want our children thinking it's normal to get up, work your off until bedtime and collapse from exhaustion, okay? This is not healthy living. We want our children to have a healthy view of what life should look like, which is a rhythm, a flow, not even necessarily a balance, because you're never going to get everything equal. Things aren't supposed to be equal, okay? Life, a lot of times, has to be a lot more important than getting a math page done, okay? You're not looking for balance. You're looking for a healthy rhythm, a healthy ebb and flow. So curriculum and methodology are not the boss. Figure out a workable rhythm that is going to suit your family, a schedule, a routine that is going to fit your family, and focus on less is more. And I think if you do those things, you will find that this year is going to be much more enjoyable. It's going to be much more relaxed, and it is going to set you up for being able to do this long term without constantly feeling like you're scrambling, like you're stressed, like you are struggling to get it all done. Okay? I hope that was helpful. I look forward to getting to chat with y'all later. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.